Welcome back to the Funded Trader series, the challenge. So as you've all seen, as you guys have seen, I've actually been going through the motions of a trader. And what do I mean going through the motions of a trader? It's just like the charts. When you look at the charts, you'll see the charts go up, the charts come down. Sometimes you're rallying, sometimes you're just falling. And that makes up the charts, up and down movements. That's just the charts. Sometimes you'll be trending, sometimes it's a retracement. And that's how the journey of a trader is, guys. That's how the journey of a trader is. Nonetheless, I've taken actually a series of trades this week. So I've taken actually 4 trades. As you can see, I've written them all down here. I've taken 4 trades this week, and I've also actually journaled it. So I've written it down in my journal book as well. So I feel like it's very important that one keeps a book and maybe a whiteboard. If you don't have a whiteboard, you keep a book, because this I'm just gonna wipe it out. I'm just gonna wipe it out eventually, and I will forget the numbers. I'll forget the pairs that I traded. So yeah, I've written everything down, the trades that I took for the week. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into it. Let me just grab my marker. Let's get straight into it, man. So as you can see, the first trade that I took for the week, it's actually US 30. So I took US 30. It hit SL. So I risked 1%. I risked 1% on US 30. That's the first trade I took on this new account. So I have my setup here, so I've written it down why I actually took this specific trade. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's very important that it's either you will be using your book just to clarify everything, go through your setup. So here I have my setup, why it occurred, and what I saw. So I saw this liquidity cycle. I saw this liquidity cycle. What happened, the inducement, the mitigation of the M15 chart, and the outcome. So I've written the outcome as well. So the outcome, this is the outcome. So on this specific trade, I took a loss of 1%. So this is the first trade I took for the week, a 1% loss, and I was down 1%. And the second trade that I took for the week was on gold. So I took a trade on gold, and this was actually continuation setup on gold. The outcome is the same. I also took a loss on gold, but however, when I look at my notes, actually, this wasn't a trade that I was supposed to take, because the reason I wasn't supposed to take this trade, it doesn't align with my asymmetric risk to reward. What I mean by it doesn't align with my asymmetric risk to reward. So I have a risk to reward criteria that allows me to only take certain trades based on the fact that if I risk $1, I should be minimum I should be making at least $3. So in this specific scenario, I just saw the setup, but I did not calculate my risk beforehand, and the risk parameters did not align with the asymmetric risk criteria. So the risk was approximately 1 to 2. So I wasn't diligent enough, so I took a loss on this specific trade. So it's actually a minus. It's a minus. This is a minus. So I took a minus $20. Minus $20 basically on this not USD gold trade actually. So I took a minus $20, and the same day I took another trade. Also on gold. So this was also a continuation setup. So the London session open, London highs got swept. We saw a run of liquidity in the market, push down, which indicated to me that the bears are in control of the market. It aligned with my setup, break and test, inducement of that break and test. They got stopped out, and I took the sell. But the outcome on this specific trade was I closed 50% at a 3 risk to reward. That's when I closed 50%. I took it off the table. I placed my trade to break even. So I was good. I covered myself. and I close the rest of the profits manually. So approximately I made $74 on this trade. So it's plus, closed manually, plus $74. Fresh $74 if you round everything, if you round it up, $73.87. So that's how much I made. But when I look at my come again to my risk, when I look to my risk criteria or my risk management analysis. So my risk management analysis actually tells me that on this specific trade, because I took this loss, I was actually supposed to risk more on this specific trade. So what happened was, the reason I only closed around about $74 on this specific trade is because I only risked 0.50%, which is when you use the standard 1%, it's half of that. You get what I'm saying? So I only risked 0.50% on this specific trade. However, I was supposed to risk 1% on this specific trade, and when we take into consideration my daily loss limit, I only have a daily loss limit of 2%. So when I reach that daily loss limit of 2%, I'm done trading for the day. I don't trade anymore. And in this scenario, I actually had a buffer of 1.50%. So I had additional 1% left and 50%, 0.50% from this trade. Because remember, I only risked 0.50%. So I had 1.50% of risk left that I should have used. But because I only risk 1% per trade, I was supposed to use 1% on this specific trade, and I only used 0.50%, which resulted in me actually closing much smaller profits. So that's also one of the key takeaways that I've taken away from for this week. And the last trade that I took was on gold. So I took a long on gold. So when I look at my notes, actually, it's just a trade on gold on the 6th of November 2025. I wasn't hands-on on this trade. I just said long setup, no screenshots, no analysis, outcome, SL hit. And to be quite frank, guys, this is very, very bad. This isn't how it's supposed to be done, because on the last trade I took, I don't have a thorough analysis, a thorough breakdown of my entry position, of why I actually am taking the trade, of why I'm risking how much I'm risking. I don't have any analysis of it, which is very, very, very bad. It's a great mistake that I made, and I recommend you always take a screenshot of your trade, or you just take a video, record yourself, because that's very important, because you always want to come back and look at your trade. It's very important. So that's it, guys. I took this 1% loss on this trade. I was supposed to make like 150, which is a 3%, so I was supposed to be like up 2% for the week. You see what I mean? There's these small discrepancies. When you just look at these small discrepancies and you realize that, oh, if I tweak one or two things, I can maybe end up profitable. So right now I'm actually down 1% for the week, where I was supposed to be up 2% for the week. I'm not feeling bad. I'm not hammering. I'm not wondering and wallowing in it, but I'm just realizing that, okay, it's very important that I understand the small mistakes and where I need to actually just rectify. So that's it, guys, and I've just written key takeaways. Like I've just said, always take a screenshot of your trades, whether you're recording yourself or taking a screenshot. That's very important, you know, and always be an adaptive trader. Don't be married to one setup. It's also part of my key takeaways for the week. So overall, this week I'm down 1% on this new account. It's Sunday today. I'm about to do a market prep. I'm ready to prepare for the upcoming week. We haven't had NFP in a while. We'll see what the Fed releases, any major news events. So nonetheless, I'm still feeling quite optimistic. And the reason for my optimism is me simply coming back and see where I went wrong and what I need to improve. So I hope you take away any key valuable lessons from this video. And if you're seeing this video, hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe. and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.